should just go, what kind of a monster even goes through with this CRD filing and doesn't include the proper context of these things? Like, he showed me a pornographic video on the phone. Oh, you meant a birth video of his wife? I would not have said, quote unquote, hurt feelings and saying, like, they're basically bullying him again in the lawsuit. And I'm going, guys, that's not good. Don't do that. Look, so I just covered this on my show. Totally understandable legal maneuver. Of course, you're going to try to get your clients dismissed from a lawsuit. So we're seeing that from Leslie Sloan. We're seeing that from Ryan Reynolds. But
what happens when Hollywood's golden girl gets caught in a web of her own making and a political outsider like Candace Owens steps in to tear it all down? Blake Lively's picture-perfect life, red carpets, A-list friends, and a doting husband might be crashing faster than anyone expected. Rumors are swirling about a massive $100 million lawsuit, explosive accusations, and a public meltdown that's left fans stunned. This isn't just another celebrity spat, it's a showdown that's peeling back the glossy veneer of Tinseltown. Stick with me because this story's about to get wild.
If they lose in the real court, obviously they're going to lose hundreds of millions of dollars that are at stake, but also in the court of public opinion, hundreds of millions of dollars are at stake. And so this filing to dismiss is essentially him saying, like, nah, 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 boo boo on the defamation claim, you can't touch me.
Let's rewind to where it all kicked off. Blake Lively's messy feud with Justin Baldoni on the set of It Ends With Us. She accused him of harassment, painting herself as the victim of a toxic work environment. It sounded like a classic Hollywood whistleblower tale, and the media lapped it up when the New York Times ran her story late last year. But then Baldoni hit back with a vengeance, filing a $400 million defamation suit against her and her husband Ryan Reynolds. He didn't just deny her claims, he flipped the table, alleging Blake was the real bully, throwing tantrums and trying to hijack the film. Suddenly, the narrative wasn't so clear-cut, and people started whispering, was Blake hiding something?
Because it's satire, right? He's arguing that, you know, satire, and it is, satire is protected speech, and that when he assumed this nice pool character, oh, well, you got hurt feelings, but it does not rise to an actual defamation claim. There's 5 other claims. He's got extortion, he's got false light, and everything immediately falls apart there. But I'm saying even that was ill-advisable.
Enter Candace Owens, a name you'd never expect in this Hollywood drama. Known for her fiery takes on politics, Owens didn't just dip her toes into this mess. She dove in head first. By early 2025, she was all over YouTube, dissecting Blake's every move with a razor-sharp edge. She called out inconsistencies in Blake's story, accusing her of playing the victim while pulling strings behind the scenes. Then came the bombshell, rumors that Owens had slapped Blake with a $100 million lawsuit of her own. Fans were floored. How did a conservative commentator become the one to challenge Hollywood royalty? But that wasn't the whole story.
I would not have said, quote unquote, hurt feelings and saying, like, they're basically bullying him again in the lawsuit. And I'm going, guys, that's not good. Don't do that. Like, you know, this is not a great way to argue, especially because they've got you on this extortion. His argument is so weak.
The $100 million claim isn't just a number, it's a sledgehammer aimed at Blake's empire. Word on the street is that Owens has stacks of evidence, from twisted text messages to insider accounts showing Blake manipulated deals and smeared Baldoni to get her way. Allegedly, she didn't just want control of It Ends With Us, she wanted to crush anyone who stood in her path. Owens isn't holding back, claiming Blake's sweet smile was a mask for a calculating power grab. If these receipts hold up, legal experts say it could be the biggest threat Blake's ever faced, not just to her bank account, but to the pristine image she spent years building. And what happened next would shock everyone.
He's basically saying, well, I didn't receive any money. And it's like, buddy, extortion is a lot bigger than that. You made threats to go public with harassment claims so that your wife could take over the movie.
Picture this, Blake Lively, once untouchable, reportedly spiraling into chaos. Insiders claim she's been a wreck since Owens dropped her legal bomb. Screaming fits, shattered glass, the works. Sources say she's scrambling to keep this under wraps, but the cracks are showing. Her team's pushing to dismiss Baldoni's suit, calling it vengeful, while dodging Owens' allegations like a game of whack-a-mole. March 2025 rolled in like a freight train, slamming her little world with evidence she can't ignore. Fans who once adored her are now watching in disbelief as the nice girl facade crumbles. But Blake wasn't the only one sweating.
They have definitely met, I would say, the preliminary standard to go through until we get to some discovery. And my guess is when we get to that discovery, there's going to be a lot stronger defamation claims against Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds thought he could slip out of this mess unscathed. He tried to get himself dropped from Baldoni's lawsuit, playing the helpless husband card, claiming he was just joking when he called Justin a harasser. Nice try, but the judge wasn't buying it. Leaked texts and emails paint a darker picture. Ryan allegedly threatened studios with false claims to muscle Blake into control of the film. Fans are fuming, pointing out extortion isn't about pocketing cash, it's about power plays, and Ryan's hands look dirty. His legal strategy's falling apart faster than a house of cards, and it's dragging him deeper into Blake's freefall. Things were about to get even uglier.
Could you imagine the text messages between him and Hugh Jackman as they're putting together all of these scenes? I mean, it's going to get crazy.
I think of all the friends that they're losing here, and these people have to be furious. I mean, they're all going to have to pay for the associated inconveniences.
Hollywood's elite started bailing on Blake like rats off a sinking ship. Taylor Swift, her supposed BFF, went radio silent. No more name drops or cozy Instagram posts. Rumors swirl that Taylor's dodging subpoenas terrified her private chats with Blake could hit the courtroom. Hugh Jackman, Bradley Cooper, even Sean Levy, names Blake once flaunted, are keeping their distance. Insiders say she's become a walking liability. No one wants the stench of this drama on them. Her star-studded circle's shrinking fast and the isolation's hitting hard, but the real kicker was still coming.
I mean, you know, if Hugh Jackman, anyone getting deposed who's got to make arrangements for it, if they have to get their own lawyers or whatever it is, and here's Ryan, should be looking out for them and not himself. But boy, I mean, it's just like, it's kind of embarrassing, right?
He just has to man up and say, I'm sorry.
The evidence piling up against Blake is straight out of a thriller. Baldoni's lawyer, Brian Friedman, dropped 170 pages of texts and docs online, showing Blake's alleged demands and threats to Sony execs. Owens claims she's got more. Phone records, emails, even whispers from said insiders that prove Blake twisted facts to bury Baldoni. One juicy tidbit, she reportedly tried to oust the film's composer, Brian Tyler, using Taylor Swift's name as leverage. If Discovery digs deeper, legal insiders say it could unearth a goldmine of dirt, enough to sink her career for good. And the fans? They're eating it up.
You know, I can understand, okay, maybe he really truly believed it. Many people were deluded by her New York Times expose, and they read through the CRD complaint, not even knowing the differences between what a CRD complaint and a real actual lawsuit is. All of that could be forgivable if you immediately backpedal and say, you know what, I shouldn't have said what I said. And that's actually what Blake Lively's brother-in-law did. I'm blanking on his name right now.
Online, Blake's gone from darling to despised overnight. X is ablaze with fans calling her a spoiled tyrant and Hollywood's puppet master. They're done with her wholesome act. Tweets like she's been fake all along and Candace exposed the real Blake are trending hard. People feel betrayed, raging that she'd trash lives just to stay on top. Some even want a public apology, something raw like, I lied, I messed up. But no one's holding their breath. The court of public opinion's already ruled, and it's brutal, but this drama's bigger than just one star.
This is not what Brandon Sklenar's doing. He basically likely got signed by WME, which was quite recent because of the connections with Blake Lively. They obviously kind of rolled out the red carpet for him.
Step back and you'll see this isn't just gossip. It's a window into Hollywood's dark side. Blake grew up with privilege, gliding into fame with barely a hiccup. Critics say that's why she's so ruthless. When you've never struggled, you invent chaos to feel alive. Owens isn't just fighting Blake. She's taking on the whole system. Media outlets like the New York Times that propped Blake up, studios that caved to her whims, and a culture that lets stars bend the truth. It's a power trip gone wrong, and the fallout's exposing how far some will go to cling to the throne. So where does this leave us?
Did it become clear to you that Blake Lively was the aggressor in this now epic showdown? Was it right after was it when Baldoni dropped the countersuit? Was it when Brian Friedman put up the website with the 170 pages and all the texts, or was it right away?
Blake Lively's staring down a legal and PR nightmare she might not survive. Candace Owens has her in a chokehold, with Baldoni's team piling on. Careers are teetering, reputations are toast, and millions of dollars hang in the balance. Will Blake pull off a miracle comeback, or has her Hollywood crown slipped for good? One thing's clear, the internet's watching every move and they're not letting this go. What do you think? Can she claw her way out, or is this the end of an era? Hit that subscribe button because this saga's far from over.